Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Today I want to go over a bloodied build for newer players, especially if you're, level 50 or under. This is perfect for you. And as always, if you find any of this information helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get right into it.
What's that? That's an eye. Yeah, an eye for an eye. Get out.
Alright, so a bloodied build essentially refers to a low health build, and people call them bloodied because of the first star legendary effect you can get on weapons. As you can see here, it shows that pretty much damage increases up to 95% as your health decreases. Normally whenever I run it, I don't ever have my health below 15%. Some people run it at 10% or under, and that basically gives them that full 95% increased damage. But I feel like running around with 10 HP is kind of hard on this game. It's a stealth build, but still you can get one shot. So I try to keep mine anywhere in the range between 15 and 20%. And I'll show you why here later on. Alright, so I thought I'd give you a quick demonstration of how the build actually works. Quick overview. Obviously you always want to be crouching. This is a stealthy build. You do have low HP, so you do want to try and be, as stealthy approach as possible. You want to aim for the head. You want to be in VATS. It's a pretty VATS heavy build. So quickly, this is showing you the quick little, steering perks that I have. Nothing too crazy, no chems. Just a perk card, Nerd Rage. I'll go over that in a little bit. But really, that's pretty much all I got. It's a pretty, early beginner build. So really anybody can build it. So I'll quickly just show you, the kind of numbers you can be looking at. Hit him for 219 in the head, 228. It just melts everybody. It's really easy to make. You can get some decent numbers with it. You really don't have to, be sneaky if you want. But I highly recommend, if you're going to use this build at least, you kind of want to be, a little bit more sneaky. Obviously, if you just want to be commando, you don't want to be bloodied. You don't have to be, this low HP. But, I just figured, you might see some people with low HP and high rads, and that's because of this build, bloodied. Lower HP you have, basically, the more damage you output. So it's a really strong build, even against this auto turret over here. It just melts it. So, if this is definitely something you want to, keep on trying to make, you can always add to it also any legendary perks. So if you want to do this, just keep watching and I'll show you exactly how I make it. Alright, so now that we're back, first things first, a lot of people have asked questions that I've seen, basically how to get rads the fastest. You don't want to just, spam food, spam dirty water. You can get random diseases. So, the quickest way that I found to get rads, it's a really easy way. First, you have to go to West Tech, where I just was, the West Tech Research Center. And if you go there, you don't even have to go that far in. As soon as you go through the front doors and you make a right, you can go in here and get a pool of toxic goo. And that stuff is probably one of the best and easiest things to literally get. I have 136 of it. You literally just spam it, and you can carry as much as you want. I just have it stored away. But if you look at it, it has 82 rads per container. So if you drink that, you may have to drink maybe like 10ish, and you'll pretty much get your rads to right here where I have them. Like I said, you want to be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, it's up to you. But that's probably the easiest way that I found to get, high rads real quick. You can also use a gamma gun. But if you don't have enough caps for one or whatever, you can always go and get toxic goo. That's one of the best ways that I've found. Alright, so moving on to armor. Obviously, some of the best armor you can use is the unyielding armor. If you don't know about it, basically unyielding, what it does, it has +3 to all special stats except endurance when health is low. So obviously, my health is real low, so I get a +3 to all my special stats. Again, with the exception of endurance. So I currently have +3, and you don't really even have to have, 3-star unyielding. all you really need is that first one. So if you have the 1-star and yielding, that's perfectly fine. You can. I'm still working on my set on this character. I'm eventually wanting to get the scout armor and Secret Service armor, but that's going to take a while to roll. Some pretty good stats on those with legendary mods. But if you get any type of unyielding, just try and get 5. I'm still working on a left arm. It's scout armor, but it's overeater, so it's kind of not too great for me. It's fine, but I'd rather have unyielding. But unyielding is going to be your best bet for now. So if you can get literally any piece, you can go vendor hop. You can try and find, look up on like Reddit forums and ask around. People are always handing it out that I see. It's super common now. You can just get it for maybe like I've seen it like at 100, literally 100 caps at the cheapest. For a wooden left leg. It was only a 1-star, unfortunately, but like I say, you don't need 3 stars or 2. You just literally need 1. Just get a full set, whatever it is. As long as you can mix match. As long as you have 5 unyielding pieces, you'll be solid. Alright, so next up we have the different mutations that I use. These are the ones that I recommend. You don't have to use all of them. There's some trade-offs on a few of them, but they're not really that bad at all. First things first, you want to get adrenal reaction. It does, take off a little bit of your HP, but you get more weapon damage at low HP. So if you tie that into the bloodied effect and into the unyielding, with your HP being so low, you're gonna be sneaking around, basically trying to take them out before they even find you. So this ties in perfectly for it. With the exception of lower HP, you get more weapon damage at low HP, so that's amazing. Next up is Bird Bones. Basically, Bird Bones, it reduces your falling speed and increases your agility. It does reduce your strength by a little bit, but you can mitigate that by taking the Class Freak perk and upgrading that max. So it mitigates some of the negative effects of the serums. So Bird Bones is another good one just for reduced fall speed. Eagle Eyes, since we're a VATS heavy build, Eagle Eyes is great for perception and crit damage, plus 50%. That's really big when you're tying in, the VATS and how much crit you're actually going to be doing, how much damage you're going to be outputting. So this is another perfect serum to take. Egghead, I took just for the intelligence. The higher your intelligence, obviously, that's just better because of the perks that I'm going to go into here in a little bit. So I'll go into that in a little bit. Herbivore, it's kind of, some people take carnivore. I took herby because basically there's different meals that you can eat that are really good for this build. For example, like corn soup, it's really good for AP refresh. So there's that one. There's another cranberry one that's good for crits, like another plus 50% on crit. So herbivore is really amazing for this build specifically. Maybe not for others. You maybe want carnivore, but I took herbivore just because it's really good for this build. Herd mentality, that's basically free special, free stats pretty much. It doesn't really matter if you're even running with a team. Like you can have a casual team. The official bio on that says you want to have people on your team, and the closer they are, the more you get. Well, basically, you can just be in a normal team, and you don't even have to run with anybody. You can literally do missions solo, and you're still going to get that +2 special when you're grouped up in any kind of group. You can even be in your own group by yourself, and you're still going to get that special. So, really, herd mentality, you want that on really any build. It's basically free points. So, I highly recommend that also. Marsupial, pretty self-explanatory. Increases your carry weight and your jump height. So you can, go and jump really high. I'll show you real quick. You can just jump up, extremely high, and it helps a lot. Just getting around faster. I see a lot of people with that, and it's an amazing mutation to take. Next up, we have Scaly Skin. This is the one where you don't have to take this one. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like it, and some people say they do. The only reason I'm running it is just because of the energy resistance and damage resistance. Since I am a little bit lower HP, my armor is not that great yet. I am taking Scaly Skin just because of that damage resistance. The only trade-off is that your AP is, you know, reduced. But that's why I run, you know, corn soup, just so I can have that AP refresh also. So it kind of mitigates that a little bit, especially with the class freak perk. It'll also take off on that as well. And speed demon, everybody really likes this one. It just makes you faster. You know, plus 50% while moving, quicker reload speed, movement speed in general. So you're just faster in general. That's always a really good perk. Like if I were to shoot my gun a little bit, look how fast I can reload it compared to normal. Like that's really good, especially when you're, you know, trying to take out multiple, you know, mobs or whatever. That's a really good, you know, serum to have also. All right, so these are your stat points. These are the points that I run. I changed maybe one or two of them just for different perks. This is normally what I run though. You want luck obviously really high. The higher your luck is, the more crit you're going to hit. Especially after I think 33 luck, you'll pretty much always be hitting crits. So if you think about it, there's some more damage output faster you kill mobs. Agility, that's based off of your AP, so you always want to have, you know, high agility, at least 13 or at least 12. I have it on 13 just for other perks that I have. So that's just really good for AP. Your perception, that's really good for VATS. So there's different things that kind of tie into other perks, but these are the ones that I have right now, just stat wise. And so now if you go to my perks, I don't have everything that you know would really need. I'm still working on this one. Just, you know, with it being a new character, I'm trying to play around with it and kind of change things up. But for the most part, this is what I have. Strength, you can't see this chat box here in the way, but strength 4, I have bandolier, which basically, you know, weapons weigh less. I have strong back. You might want to change strong back out with another one. If you don't really care about your carry weight, you can always change that out with like arms keeper. So you can have, you know, obviously, you know, basically, you know, 45, 25, your weapons weigh less. But that's completely up to you. Perception is another one. You obviously want to have Master Commando, Expert Commando, basically doing, you know, plus 20%, plus 20%. So that's already, you know, plus 40% damage. That's amazing. You know, you don't want to have Exterminate. I just have that just because I kind of scrapped other ones. I'm working on my legendary perks. So I just threw that in there. You don't really want Exterminator. You'd prefer another one. Concentrated Fire, basically, you know, your VATS target limbs. You want to upgrade that a little bit. Obviously, you want to make sure that, you know, you're not upgrading things you don't want to upgrade. What I recommend are like Master Commando, Expert Commando, the normal Commando, all maxed out to 3. And then right here, like I said, you can replace that with Tank Killer. I recommend upgrading Tank Killer to level 3 or 3 stars. And Concentrated Fire, you can leave that at 1. But normally, you know, you want to have Tank Killer 3, Expert Commando 3, Master at 3, and then Concentrated Fire at 1. Now, if you move on to Endurance, I don't have the perks for these yet, but what I'm wanting to get, and what I recommend you get, are a perk called Life Giver. You want to get that maxed, and then another one called Fireproof. You want to get that one maxed. If you get those maxed, basically, you know, the Fireproof, you take 45% less damage from explosions and flame attacks, and that's really good for, you know, different events and, you know, a lot of things where, you know, there's explosion, there's, you know, canisters going off around you. That's really good for just, you know, going out and, you know, trying to survive a little bit more tanky. And the Life Giver perk for endurance, basically you're going to gain a total of 45 to your maximum health. So if you remember that perk, it took some HP off with the bird bones. If you get the Life Giver perk, that'll basically increase your HP up to 45 if you max that out as well. And charisma, you really don't need too much charisma. There is a perk called Tenderizer that you can get. It basically, you know, makes the target receive 10% more damage for 10 seconds after you attack. So that's really good. I recommend that perk. I'm still working on it, like I said. So in the meantime, I'm just taking inspirational for an extra 10% more XP, just to level up faster, again, so I can get those perks. So for intelligence, here's where it gets kind of important. You want to take, first off, you want to take Nerd Rage. With it being a bloodied build, you know, you're lower HP. This card's really important. So if you read it while below 20% health, you gain 40 damage resistance and 20% damage and 15% AP regen. So this is a really important card. You want to try max straight away. On top of your, you know, commando cards, you want to get Nerd Rage as quickly as possible. Just because it helps you again with the AP regen, the 20% damage, and 40 damage resistance and 20% health while you're under that. So every time, you know, you are under that, you'll see on your effects it'll say Nerd Rage, and I'm seeing AP regen plus 15, damage resist plus 40. So again, that is really big. I highly recommend Nerd Rage. You know, you really can't. You can, but you're really not supposed to run this build without it. So this is really, you know, make it or break with this card. Next is Gunsmith. You don't have to have even past 3 intelligence. You can, you know, allocate those other 3 points to agility, you know, 1 to strength, to perception, whatever you want. Maybe 1 more to charisma. The only reason I have 6 in intelligence, and I might change it here soon, because guns, you know, break 30% slower, and you can craft tier 3 guns. While that is important, it isn't really a necessity. So, you know, you can definitely make, you know, replace that with something else, but Gunsmith is good for now, just so you can save money, obviously. Your guns won't break as fast, and that means you can be out there longer. Because the worst thing that you can have happen is have your gun break when you're out there fighting. Alright, so next up is agility. With agility, it's a little bit different. You don't have to have your agility as high. Like I said, you can have it pretty high, and that helps out a lot with, you know, action points, but it's kind of hit or miss. What I recommend is having, you know, the action, or my character's a girl, so it'll, you know, is action girl. Basically, your AP points regenerate 45% faster. I take covert operative. Your ranged attacks do an additional 50% sneak attack damage. So obviously, this is, like I said, a sneaky build. So you'll do more damage outside when you're actually sneaking, up to 50%. And I just put sneak on here. I want to get another perk, obviously. Another one that I recommend are Gun Fu, Escape Artist, and Adrenaline. Those are all really good perks. I just put sneak on because I don't have those perks yet. So sneak, you know, it just makes it hard for me to be detected pretty much. You don't need it, but if you do have this card, just throw it on there. It's only 1 point. It's 25% harder to be detected. So, you know, just throw it on there. Another one, obviously, like I said, Escape Artist. You don't really have to level this. You can't actually level it now that I'm seeing it. So you want to keep that at 1. It's pretty easy to keep. Basically, you know, sneak to lose enemies, and running no longer affects stealth. So you can basically, you know, like I said, you know, if you sneak around, it'll say, you know, caution, and yeah, as soon as you sneak, it'll go back to hidden. So this is a really good thing. You know, you can sneak up on enemies, get headshots, and get those crits. And White Knight, I don't really recommend taking it. I only put it on because, like I said, I don't have the other perks. So I just threw that in right now. I'll probably scrap that card eventually. So don't really, you know, pay attention to this one. The next one you want to, you know, really try and get, though, is Adrenaline. And you don't really have to level it all the way up. You can keep it at 1. So basically, you know, you gain 6% damage for 30 seconds per kill, and the duration refreshes with kills. So you can just keep on going and going, and you're going to gain 6% damage for 30 seconds, and that 30 seconds is going to stay active as long as you have kills on. So it's kind of like an automatic buff, as long as you're getting kills. At a max 36% damage, so that's really, really big. I highly recommend this, and especially if you're going fighting multiple mobs at once, back to back. This is a really, really good perk card. And the other one, I leveled mine up to 2. I'm trying to get the third one to get 3-star, but Dodgy. Basically, Dodgy, you know, you avoid 20% of incoming damage at the cost of 30 AP points per hit. You're not really going to be hit too much in this build. You're really trying to sneak up on them, like I said, and kill them before they even get a chance to see that you're there. So really, if you do get hit for whatever reason, Your corn soup and other buffs are pretty much going to help with your AP regen anyways. So this is another one that you don't have to take, but it's also good just in case you do get hit for whatever reason. And next up is luck. I have luck at 15. You want to put it the highest you can, obviously because of your crit. This one you don't have to take Scrounger. I don't recommend it. I just have it in place for other things that I'm going to put. Serendipity, I have this at 3, just because while you're below 30% health, again with the Bloodied build, it ties in. So with it tying in, while you're below 30% health, you get a 45% chance to avoid damage with no power armor. So if you're just outside your power armor walking around, you have a 45% chance to avoid damage. And that's falling also. That's not just being hit. If you take fall damage, you can avoid that by obviously this perk card kicking in. And this one is another one that you don't have to pay attention to. The ones that I do recommend, I'll throw them on the screen right now, are Bloody Mess, Grim Reaper Sprint, Better Critical, Serendipity, Critical Savvy, and Starched Jeans. Those are the ones that I highly recommend. Like I said, Class Freak is really good. This one you can put in place of other ones. Once I get rid of the other, like Can Do, Scrounger, I'll keep this one on just because, you know, with those effects of the serums, you have negative effects that come with it. You have positive, but you also have negative. So with these negative, it pretty much mitigates that by 50%. So if you think about it, you know, if it's a -2 strength, now it's only -1. So it might not seem like too big of a deal, but this actually, you know, helps out a lot. Starch Jeans, basically, a lot of people I've seen looking up and asking how to keep genes or how to keep mutations permanent. And there really is not like a permanent way to do it. Permanent, you can put like quotation marks around that. But basically, you know, if you take Starch Genes, you take your serum, you have this perk card equipped, and then you take your serums. Or either way, you don't have to have it equipped. You can take your serums first and then equip the perk card. Basically, when your timer runs out after an hour, let's say like you took Rad away and it cured your mutation, you're like, oh no, I just wasted caps on those and I have to buy them again. I don't have enough. Well, if you keep Starch Genes on, and you have to level to 2, so make sure this is leveled up all the way. Whenever you have that, you'll never mutate from Rads, and it Rad away if you use it. Like if, like for example, my HP is 6.7 right now. If I want to get that Rad bar a little bit past 20%, so that I could have more HP, I could use Rad away, and it won't cure any of my mutations. So that's a really good perk to have. A lot of people are kind of, you know, wondering which they should do, you know, how they can keep their mutations. They don't want to keep buying serums. They're pretty pricey. Well, that's a way you can, you know, permanently keep it, just by, you know, taking Starch Genes. Make sure again it's leveled up all the way. And like I said, Woodchucker, Quick Hands, you don't really want to have those. You want to go back to the ones that I mentioned that you want to have. These are just extra because I don't have them yet. So that's pretty much it for the perks. Again, go back and listen to the ones I did recommend. Those would be a lot better for you. Alright, so for the legendary perk, once you do hit level 50, for those of you that are, you know, close to 50 or you're grinding up to 50, one of the cards that I'd take personally, and I'm trying to level it up as high as I can, it costs action points to do it, or not action points, perk points. Basically, you want to get your luck card, your legendary luck, as high as possible. You want to max it out. Because if you read about it, it says +3 luck and +3 luck perk points. So basically what that means is if you go back to over here and you look at my stats, you can see, or is it to special, that my luck is +32. Once I get to 33, that'll pretty much mean that I'm hitting crits every other shot. And so my output damage will be a lot higher. So that basically increases your luck. Like if I were to upgrade that one more time, that would be 33. So that's basically, you know, you can have other legendary cards. You know, you can mix and match however you want, but that's one of the things that I highly recommend doing, is just getting your legendary luck maxed out. Because the higher your luck, the more crit you're going to have, the more damage, and the faster you can run and basically level up. Alright, so Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that quick video on the beginner's Bloody Commando build. Like I said, it's a really good build, something you can definitely get into right away. Just work towards the unyielding armor and getting the fixer, bloodied fixer preferably. It doesn't have to be bloodied right away. Obviously, you know, they're kind of pricey, so if you can try and find people trading them, selling them for a little bit cheaper. You can even try your own rolls with the legendary modules. But just get a fixer right away. That thing is really, really good. It's really, you know, ideal for this build. So anyways, with all that being said, if you liked the video, found anything helpful, just remember to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.